of the MMGA Podcast, Episode 1.
And someone in the chat just confirmed that they can hear both of us.
Yep, I'm gonna send the link right now.
I'm sure one of them's probably still on it.
I started it over.
Oh.
So yeah, once we get confirmation that they can actually hear us, we'll jump into these predictions. Shout out to Tone on the Redskins for, supporting us. No one else is taking their time to podcast this thing. That's a very good point. Alright, Steph says he can hear.
When Tank said that all he heard was awkward silence, I honestly thought he was just referring to,
a pause.
Yeah, our actual talking at first, because we did kind of, pause for a bit.
Yeah, that honestly, I would just count that as Tank being Tank. He's kind of a stupid dick.
Line of scrimmage, the 31
Alright,
now
so
on first and 10.
Take two on these predictions. This is
so
Nick here with our Colts user, Secondhand Sand. We're going to do some season predictions for MMGA.
So I guess we'll start with the AFC North.
Alright, AFC North. I think that's a tough division. Everyone should know who's going to finish last. That's obviously Tank.
Yeah, Tank. Even his name, Tank.
Tank and his Browns team following the tradition in Cleveland and trading all of their playmakers, pretty much every competent player on offense, for a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, I think the first place finisher, obviously the Bengals.
I think, Bengals, he's got a very solid team. He's a good player. I'm not sure exactly how he finished last year, but I think it's between him and the Ravens, honestly.
Kind of pulled that Bengals move and took a 40 there, 5 or something like that out in the playoffs.
Marvin Lewis is still there in spirit. But I think Ravens with Lamar Jackson, you can never count him out. So I'm actually going to pick, he's starting 1-1, he's having might be 2-0, having a decent season. He was close last year. So I think I'm going to pick the Ravens to win the AFC North. But deep down in my heart, I just know, as long as it's not Tank, I'll be happy.
And here now come the Falcons. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
The AFC West, I'd love to pick myself in the AFC West, but I think the truth of it is that at the end of the day, I'm washed up. My career is over as a winning team in Madden, so I'm going to go with Syndicate and the Raiders. He has about 80 safeties on defense. He pulled a signature. I think also you got the Broncos. Mike's a tough player. As long as he can stay sober enough to finish his games, he's always got a chance. When he's 12 Bud Lights deep, that doesn't bode well, but otherwise, you never know. He knocked me out in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, it was a tough guy.
But, he's definitely got weapons on offense. He has Brown from Oklahoma, very fast receiver. He's legit. He'll probably finish second. I think he's got a really good chance at the wild card. But I think at the end of the day, I'm going to go with Syndicate and his 5 rookie running backs.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
How about the AFC East? We have Steph and 3 CPUs because he ran off the Patriots user earlier today.
Yeah, I have to start investigating that.
Yeah, I don't think we
That's
have.
why putting the league up on Reddit saying that the Dolphins are already taken.
I don't think we really have much of a choice here, though, honestly, but to pick Steph because I don't want to get kicked. I don't want to get kicked from the league, and I'm kind of scared that if I say anything negative, that could be the end of my times. But
yeah, so
they missed a field goal on their
that's
last drive.
Steph's
Here they need
division
something
right there,
to
so
even
about
get
the
into
AFC
field
South.
goal range.
AFC South, it's actually a pretty interesting division. I think it's kind of funny because you're definitely, the Colts are my pick to win the division. But I think it's funny in that currently sitting at 0-2 are the Houston Texans, and Captain Scar has not been doing so great.
Captain Scar did do great.
That'll be taken in the end zone.
He in Madden 18. He was all right, but he's definitely regressed this year.
So out come the Falcons
and
now. They
had a
the
top
lead now,
3
they'll be
pick
looking to
and just
extend
traded
that
it away
lead.
for futures, so his team got no better.
He's on the wrong side of 30, so regression tends to help at that point.
He's on the wrong side of 40. Plus these Tom Brady numbers.
Pushing the wrong side of 50.
Yeah, I don't think he's quite there yet, but he's older than Tom Brady. We'll put it that way.
In this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
He's actually the Texans. Captain Scar is my pick to end up with the first overall selection in this year's draft. In all honesty,
and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this
one.
one.
No doubt about it. In today's NFL, where we're used to
oh yeah, depending after that trade with Seahawks, you never know. I could see the CPU teams kind of get beat up.
Who's going to make the big play?
So, what do you think AFC playoffs? Any predictions there? You got any Super Bowl contenders?
I think the obvious two.
After the
I kind of feel smoke up now and ask, but obviously moving stuff.
I think so. I think that's.
I think if Tank somehow overtime glitches his way into the playoffs. Yeah, probably.
That's true. If Tank can just cheat the game engine and win in overtime without the other team getting a possession on a field goal, that's a solid strategy to cheat. So
I don't really see it against the Eagles either.
I mean, he could take some lessons and start throwing some more corner outs. I think that would be recommended. But
that's a very effective against the Mandates.
And I also think Syndicate out of the AFC West, if he can stay healthy and establish a running game, he could go really far as well.
Well, Syndicate and healthy doesn't really go well together.
No, I mean running backs with paper skin and glass bones, but
ready to throw on second down.
We'll see how it goes. He could buck the trend.
The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver, and now it's third down.
So
since you're already counting yourself out of the playoffs, when the league will decide who the AFC champion is.
I think you had a good run last year. You had a good year, and you'll be in the mix this year. But I really think that it's Steph is Darth Vader. You know, he's got the whole evil empire thing going on, and I'd be surprised to see him miss out 2 years in a row.
I think he had to unload that one
Can't
before
say
he
it
wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license.
I think we'll figure it out now. I pretty much built that team.
Yeah, he got some steals and some trades. You know, traded Jamal Adams for a couple offensive linemen. So he's in a good spot. On to the NFC.
They haven't even made a trip to the
I think in the NFC, let's start with the NFC South. I think we have, either way, we'll have two playoff teams from that division. Whether it's the Panthers winning the division and the Saints in second, or the other way around.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
You know, honestly, I would love to see that this year. Saints whipped my ass. He beat me 45-7 just before we started this stream. So he could really beat anybody if he has a good game. He didn't get a lot of credit. Didn't get a lot of credit last year.
Started off the season very slow last year when he came out.
Yeah, he
came up against Rambo. Definitely made me blow a 35-7 lead, and he blowing out Atlanta.
Yeah, he has a super stacked defense too. On top of Lattimore and Cameron Jordan, signed Sue, traded for Jamal Adams, traded for Bobby Wagner, Richard Sherman. He's basically just got stars all around on that side of the ball.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see him not in the
Yeah, I think I can speak from first-hand experience that he's going to be a tough team this year. So, the NFC West, I think Seattle, after losing their owner to a fiance-related issue, will be in a tough spot. They're coming off of having the first pick, and Teddy Roosevelt had to leave the league, unfortunately. So I'm picking the Saints, or not the Saints, the Seahawks to finish last. But I think it'll really be a close race between the 49ers and the Cardinals.
I think the 49ers still starting out the year 0-2 at the moment, so.
Yeah, Dwayne Haskins he's thrown 8 picks through 2 games, so that's not a good look. But if he can kind of learn to take care of the ball, he's a talented player and he has a superstar quarterback. But my pick to win ultimately is going to be the Saints with Billy Danny. What do you think about the West?
I think Billy Danny, I think this year, 49ers are able to make the wild card with Rambo out of the mix now.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. We didn't mention Rambo in our NFC South breakdown. I'm pretty sure that anyone who owns the Buccaneers in this league is cursed at this point. We're 2 for 2 on people getting booted. It's not a great situation.
He had an $1,800 pug.
He had a what?
He had an $1,800 pug he got.
Oh yeah, the new Noodle, apparently one of Tank's buddies, so I'm not surprised that he didn't last very long, because really, how could anyone who's at all similar to Tank be a good player or a good person?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
So the NFC North now?
The NFC North?
That's fielded in the end zone.
I haven't really seen a lot of the teams in the North play. I played Bears last year, and he gave me a solid competition. But I think it comes down to, at the end of the day, Shiny Lobster, the Lions, and his run at 80% of the time, cheese offense.
This close, you gotta feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense.
Yeah, I mean, hard to disagree. I just played the Packers.
Without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They're good, but I don't think they're shiny good.
Right. And Shiny can also get away with murder, because anytime anyone accuses him of cheesing, I'm sure he'll just deflect the situation back to me and how I'm the cheesiest player he's ever played in his life. So, with all that in mind, I don't really see him not winning the division.
His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
The NFC East, I think that's another one of the fairly one-sided divisions. I think the Cowboys' defense is right up there with the Saints as one of the best defenses in the league, adding Jalen Ramsey last year in a great trade. If he can have just a little bit of offense, he should go pretty far.
Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a
Yeah. I think the only question now is the Redskins this year make the playoffs in the wild card.
Yeah, the Redskins had a solid year last year. I would think they definitely are in the mix, especially for a playoff spot, if not winning the division. But it's hard to argue with the success we've seen on the field for the Cowboys. And he's also, much credit to him, the only person to shut me out in a game this whole Madden cycle. I'm not necessarily the best, but no one else has done it, so I gotta give him credit where credit is due.
Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Playoffs? Out of the NFC, I kind of expect the Cowboys to get right back to that NFC championship in the NFC. I'm looking at the Cowboys, the Panthers again, defending Super Bowl representative out of that conference.
I think seeding's going to play a huge factor in there. Who looks at us a championship game?
Yeah, I think that
Cowboys and Lions match up against each other again in the divisional. Cowboys and Panthers. I feel like if the Lions match up against the Panthers and the Panthers match up with the Cowboys, could see a new NFC champion.
Yeah, I think there'll definitely be a couple close games in the playoffs this year. Last year showed that kind of the AFC seemed to be the superior conference, in my opinion, but for the most part, playoffs on both sides were pretty close, so I'm excited to see how it goes.
My guess is that I kind of feel like Shiny will come out as new quarterback. He seems to feel comfortable with, and obviously your development of all of his players included.
Yeah.
Shiny in the backfield, Aaron Johnson.
Shiny, I don't even think that the quarterback is a big issue for Shiny because he just runs the ball every time anyways. But I do want to point out that in a very racist remark, Shiny did ask the commissioners if he could change his quarterback's skin tone and make him white. Very, very upsetting. But I don't think that minor scandal will stop him from reaching the playoffs.
Yeah, might be looking at league time right now.
I think, yeah, I'm definitely looking at the Lions, the Panthers, and the Cowboys are my three top teams out of the NFC.
This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in
assuming
check.
that they're right, and the Jets and Lions are the two Super Bowl teams. Assuming I'm right with that one.
I think that's a pretty reasonable assumption for the Jets to make the Super Bowl, for sure. Unless someone can take out Samantha Darnold. You know, I will say, off the record, like, you didn't hear this from me, but if anyone were to injure Darnold, take him out for the season, there might be a future first-round pick coming your way. But I'm not sure where exactly that would come from. Certainly not me.
First down now, but that clock rolling. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to keep something together here.
Top stuff's pass rush.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31 yard
pass
line.
rush and Darnold.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Yeah.
Stuff's team.
But at the end of the day, I think if
the run game.
Yeah, he can definitely neutralize the pass rush by leaning on his running game heavy, but I still think it's so tough to stop Steph. He doesn't really make a lot of mistakes, so you have to really make a couple big plays if you're going to beat him, especially in a playoff game when he's locked in. So that's going to be my prediction, actually, to win the Super Bowl. Kind of saddens me to say it, but Jets to win the Super Bowl is going to be my pick.
Yeah, can't really halt with that one. Big stuff.
The Bears on third down.
Steph has one
2
thing
for
on
5 to
everybody.
this
It's
point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Yeah. I think another interesting discussion though is the MVP race. I don't think that Sam Darnold will pull it off again, honestly. My early choice was actually going to be Kerryon Johnson in Detroit, but he's, as you probably heard, out for 5 weeks right now, so that's gonna hurt his chances pretty bad. I think an AFC quarterback, probably someone like a Darnold or a Lamar Jackson, maybe Andrew Luck. Yeah, he definitely.
Campbell will have a shot, but apparently pouring up 2,200 receiving yards and 23 touchdowns a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see really a receiver win the MVP. Do you have a prediction for the first overall pick this year? Because I said my prediction earlier. Yeah.
I kind of hard to bet against guaranteed
Captain Scar.
Owning both
the first and second pick.
So they have Seahawks.
I think we should all make an agreement to lose against the CPU Seahawks, just to make sure that Scarantino's, or Captain Scar rather's, tanking is finally stopped. It's just, at this point, he almost has to be losing on purpose, I feel. I've never seen such a... He actually, and very, very characteristic of him, he blew a 28-0 lead against the Ravens. It was up big, and then came back and lost somehow, not really sure. I received...
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Brady's incompletion.
Yeah, I did actually. I did also receive a message not too long ago, a couple days ago, from Captain Scar. And I'm not going to get into too much details of the DM, but basically what the topic of discussion was is that I ended up having to explain to Captain what the coaching adjustments are, you know, aggressive pass rush and play ball for your defensive backs and what have you, because he wasn't really clear on what those were. Had never heard of them. So that's not a good sign.
We had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer.
And then he actually proceeded to ask me if they were even allowed, which is not a great sign.
Both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death.
That past night, he accused me of manipulating the CPU blockers to get blocked in the backs.
Not quite sure how you would achieve that, to be honest.
Apparently, if you stop running, you somehow manipulate the CPU to block your defender in the back.
I'm not really sure if that does work, but I wouldn't put it past you to do anything to get a leg up, including throwing exclusively corner routes for an entire game. I mean, Tank has documented well that you apparently only run corner routes, so at this point nothing would surprise me.
I can't deny it's true.
We have 4 minutes left in this game, this overtime, so let's talk about the big news yesterday in the league. The playmaker feature on offense is now banned. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's what it is. You don't want it gone. I'd prefer to keep it.
Having things covered and the quarterback takes off and picks up.
I think it helps stop the zone-heavy defenses.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Me personally, I'd like to have it, but considering that just about 75% of the time when I try to playmaker, I end up getting sacked and fumbling. So I'm not going to complain. It was pretty embarrassing. I had a similar play today without playmaker, but just rolling out. Mahomes does not like to hold on to the ball, apparently.
Oh, now he bowls him over. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they
I need to contact Rambo and learn some of the cheese, I think. If I ever want a chance to win again.
I don't know if anything can help you now. Go Chiefs. You should be 16-0 every year.
That is what Rambo said, and as we know, he's a very smart guy, good user. Just he had a bit of an anger issue that led to him no longer being in the league. But I think
I would say his wisdom is second to none, other than, of course, the great Rajit.
Yeah, I think. Well, Rajit is certainly up there, but I think you're leaving out a very, very important name, and that is Noodle. Because, you know, keep in mind that Noodle, he does drive an Acura.
Pantheon of Madden gods.
The Bears on third down.
I don't know, you might have to. I think at the end of the day, it was good for the health of the league to get rid of Noodle because, like he said, he's the best, and no one else would have a real chance if he was still here.
Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
Like this goes at the end.
Yeah, I think that's we covered everything, our predictions, the recent news. I think that's a good point to wrap up the first episode. Just one last shout out to Hank Willis for finishing last place in the AFC North and being just a terrible, awful cheese user.
Couldn't have said it better.
Alright. That sounds like that's it. So I think we will be back next week, hopefully with a special guest. Alright, talk to you later. Ending the broadcast now.